everyone, welcome to Budget with Sue. I'm back from a little short hiatus I took because of my exams, and then it was Father's Day last weekend. And I just want to share with you guys my budget for July, but I'm doing it a little bit differently today. And that's because I just got paid on Friday, so I thought it'd be a good time to take you guys on my payday routine as well. So my payday routine is maybe a bit simple or complicated depending on how you're looking at it. So I just want to take you guys through the steps that I do when I know that my salary has come in, and also a little few extra steps that I do on the last day of every month because I get paid usually around the 24th, 25th, usually sometime in the third week of the month. So I do have a few extra payday routine steps that I keep for the last day of the month. So I'll be sharing that with you guys as well. So first I check my payslip online. Next, I update my budget on Google Sheets. So as usual, my bills and my income I've blanked out for privacy's sake. So we'll go on to my debts. So my student loan PTPTN is the same, 818 ringgit and 63 cents. My car, I actually got a note from the bank because my car loan is not a fixed interest one. So they said that the interest had changed. It's actually gone up, but they calculated my minimum payment as the same. So I'm not sure about that. So I'll have to keep an eye on that because the car is deducted. The bank has, I've got a direct debit with the bank itself. So I'll have to keep an eye on that and see if anything changes with how much that they've deducted in the next couple of months. And if there's any change, I will reflect it in my budget. But if not, according to the letter I got, it should stay the same, 453 ringgit. My Maybank card, I have it at 341 ringgit and 7 cents. And 7 cents. And after this, I should be paid off my card, and yeah, I can start snowballing the money into my car payment, which is really exciting. So that's August onwards. Fingers crossed nothing happens to change this plan. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. My transport, I have been struggling to fill my tank with the 200 that I've given myself previously. So I'm upping it to 250. My food for 50 and 50 for miscellaneous. My emergency fund and investment are getting 150 each. So for my sinking funds, earlier, I think in my last week my last month's budget review, I mentioned about having to take some money out of my sinking funds in order to compensate for the fact that I paid way more to my debt, my credit card, than I was expecting to, which is 548 in total. So I'm just putting that back. So I took it out of these two funds just because they were the most fully funded at that time. And yeah, so we're doing 300 this month because I haven't really been contributing anything to that. So I'm going to give a little bit there. My subscriptions, I'll get the usual 50. Nothing for beauty this month. So gifts is getting a fairly random amount. Top it up a little bit. This is just the balance left over after I allocated everything else to the rest of my sinking funds. So Christmas and car insurance are giving the usual 100. My travel, is getting 435 cents. So that's it. Medical, I don't think I need to put anything in it just yet. Maybe in August, we'll see. Oh, I actually have 40 ringgit extra. Wonder why? Okay, so I guess gift is getting an extra 40 ringgit. Okay, must have miscalculated earlier. All right, so I'll just go ahead and fill in the rest. Okay, and as you can see here, 0 because I use a zero-based budget. Thirdly, since most of my payments for my bills and some of my debts are on autopay, I just check them to make sure that they are scheduled because I've had mishaps happen before. So although I schedule all my direct debits to be for the whole year, for the ones that I make myself and that is not directly debited from the company or whatever it is I'm paying to. So for those that I have to do myself, I do schedule it for the whole year. But just to be sure, I always make sure every month that that they're there. Next, I transfer all my sinking funds, my emergency fund. I make my investment deposits. So all of the online transfer that is outside of the usual regular ones every month, I do that next. Fifth step is I have an app where I track my expenses daily and I set that up as well. So I just put in my budget for my transport and my food and my other emergency fund investments. I missed this, my student loan, my car, and my credit card. Okay. So 300 to stationery, 248. And giving is 300. $50 for subscriptions. 17817 for gifts. Christmas gets 100. My car insurance gets 100, and that's all. So this will be how much that I put in, and over here it'll get tracked where, and over here is where it'll get tracked how much I've spent from that particular sinking fund. So yeah, it's really quick. So these are the extra steps that I take at the end of the month, so on the last day of the month. First, I see how much money I have left over from the previous month, and I use that as a rollover. I also check my investments, and I have a Google Sheet for that, so I just update the amounts there, so I know as of the end of this month, this was how much that I had. And carrying on from that, I also just do the same thing for my net worth. So my investments do play a role in my asset calculation for that. So I do wait until the end of the month to have updated numbers as I possibly can, and then I plug this into my Networth Google Sheet. And lastly, I just check my calendar, my own personal calendar, to see if there's anything, if I have anything coming up in the month that is perhaps out of the ordinary, then that I would need to spend money on. For example, like a birthday, although it's not coming out from my budget, it is coming out from my sinking funds. I do want to take note of that and be aware that I'll have to pay for something when the time comes. So that was my payday routine, along with a very quick budget with me for the month of July. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on what your payday routine is. You can leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!